Hello there, amazing learners. Welcome back to your favorite online show, LearnEnglishPodcast.com, where we believe that learning English should be both effective and fun. I'm your enthusiastic host, Wason, and with me is the ever-charming Lydia. Today we're going to explore proven tips on boosting your English learning so you can progress at lightning speed minus the boredom.
Hello everyone, I'm Lydia. Thrilled to be here once again. If you've been battling tricky grammar, tackling pronunciation puzzles, or feeling stuck with your vocabulary, we've got plenty of insider knowledge to share. Think of it as your backstage pass to faster English fluency.
Exactly. We'll cover immersion strategies, tech tools, motivational hacks, and even share a few personal stories. Whether your goal is to travel the world, land a better job, or simply chat effortlessly with native speakers, we've got tips for you.
Right on, Wason. And let's not forget, English opens the door to connecting with people everywhere. From international business relationships to forging friendships online, this language can be your golden key.
Totally. So let's jump right in, starting with why English is such a crucial skill for so many people today. Lydia, what do you think?
Well, English has become the go-to language for global communication. That covers international conferences, remote work, and even everyday online browsing. More than half the world's websites are in English, so you gain access to a massive amount of information.
Exactly. Plus, think about traveling. Imagine navigating an airport in a country you've never been to or ordering food from a local cafe. Being able to speak English makes you far more independent. You won't be limited to touristy spots.
Absolutely. And we can't skip the topic of careers. Many multinational companies want team members who can communicate in English. Even if the company is based in a non-English speaking country, having employees who handle international clients or partners in English is a huge asset.
So true. Let's talk about how to learn it more efficiently. Step 1. Immersion. But we get it. You might not be able to move to an English-speaking country. That's okay. You can create an immersive environment right at home.
Yes, a great way is to switch your phone's language settings to English, along with social media apps. You'd be surprised how quickly you pick up everyday terms when you see them in daily notifications.
Exactly. Also, fill your day with English content. Watch shows, listen to podcasts, like this one, stream YouTube videos, read articles, all in English. It might feel overwhelming at first, but it's a powerful method to keep your brain engaged.
And here's one of my favorite techniques, shadowing. You hear a phrase, pause, and repeat it, trying to mimic the speaker's rhythm and pronunciation. It might sound goofy at first, but it really helps you internalize speech patterns.
Definitely. Now let's touch on technology. We live in a world where language apps like Duolingo, Babbel, or Memories turn learning into a game. They reward you with points, maintain streaks, and keep you motivated.
And for more advanced learners, AI chatbots can be fantastic. You can type your sentences, and these tools will refine your grammar or suggest better words. Think of it as on-demand proofreading.
Absolutely. But remember, technology is a supplement, not a substitute for human interaction. That's why it's also essential to engage in real conversations whenever you can.
Yes. Platforms like Tandem or HelloTalk connect you with native speakers. You help them learn your language, and they help you learn English. It's like having a pen pal, but in real time.
One more point here. Don't be shy. Mistakes are part of the journey. I always say that if you're not making mistakes, you're not stepping out of your comfort zone enough.
Exactly. Another tip is consistent journaling in English. Write about your day, your goals, or even random thoughts. This helps you practice constructing sentences without the immediate pressure of a conversation.
Yes, and read it back to yourself aloud. That way, you polish reading, writing, and speaking all at once. It may feel strange, but trust me, it works wonders for building confidence.
Let's also talk about goal setting. Saying, "I want to learn English" is too vague. Try smaller goals like, "I want to be able to discuss my daily routine in English," or "I want to understand a short news article without using a dictionary."
Absolutely. Specific goals make it easier to see progress. And each time you hit a milestone, it's a mini celebration. Maybe treat yourself to something nice.
Right. On the same note, find content that resonates with you. If you're obsessed with cooking, follow English-speaking chefs online. If you love soccer, read English articles about your favorite teams. It makes learning feel natural.
Precisely. When you're genuinely interested, learning stops feeling like a chore. It becomes part of your favorite pastime. Now, about grammar. Some folks dread it, but we can't ignore it entirely.
True. Grammar is the backbone that holds your sentences together. But approach it smartly. Instead of dry memorization, try to see grammar as guidelines for structuring your thoughts. Practice by using new grammar points in sentences about your life.
Yes, and avoid cramming too many grammar rules at once. Focus on one aspect, like present perfect tense, and try it in different scenarios until you feel comfortable.
Right. Another powerful tool is reading aloud. Pick a short story or an article and read it as if you're performing it. Focus on intonation, clarity, and rhythm. You'll improve reading fluency and speaking skills simultaneously.
Couldn't agree more. It also helps with listening comprehension. Sometimes, the biggest struggle is understanding native speakers who talk fast. So, exposure to natural speech patterns is critical.
Exactly. One technique is to pick a short audio clip, maybe 2 minutes. Listen to it multiple times. Try to catch every word, every nuance. It's more focused than just leaving an English podcast on in the background while you do chores.
That background listening helps too, for immersion. But the deep dive approach trains your ear to pick up details. It's like zooming in on a photo to see every pixel.
Great analogy, Wason. Another strategy is to watch shows in English with English subtitles. That way, you reinforce listening with reading. Eventually, you can switch off subtitles and test your comprehension.
Yes, and a small challenge for advanced learners is to watch an episode first with subtitles, then watch the same episode again without them. Compare how much you catch the second time around.
That's a fantastic practice. Now let's address reading. For beginners, graded readers or simplified texts are perfect. Over time, move on to blogs, news sites, and novels. But be patient with yourself. Reading in another language can feel slow at first.
Definitely. And when you come across a new word, try to guess the meaning from context. Then, confirm with a dictionary if needed. This guess and check method cements vocabulary in your mind more effectively than rote memorization.
Right. The same goes for writing. After reading something, try summarizing it in your own words. That forces you to recall key vocabulary and construct coherent sentences.
Exactly. Let's circle back to daily life integration. Label items in your home with sticky notes in English. Make to-do lists in English. Even talk to your pets in English. They won't judge you.
Oh, that's so true. It might sound quirky, but every bit of exposure counts. If you're feeling brave, try speaking English at local restaurants or shops, if the staff is comfortable with it. Some might even be excited to practice with you.
Yes, you never know until you ask. Also, let's go over pitfalls. First, avoid the all or nothing mindset. Learning a language is a journey. Every step forward counts, even if it's small.
Absolutely. Another pitfall is letting fear stop you from speaking. You don't need perfect grammar to start conversing. Fluency grows with practice, not theory alone.
Exactly. Also, watch out for inconsistency. Doing 5 hours of cramming once a month won't yield the same results as short daily sessions. Think of it like exercising. Regular effort pays off in the long run.
So true. And don't compare yourself to others. Everyone learns at a different pace, and we all have different strengths. Focus on your own progress.
Right. On that note, measure your progress periodically. Maybe record yourself speaking and compare it after a few months. You might be surprised at how far you've come, which is super motivating.
That's a great idea. Let's share a quick success story. I know a woman who started learning English from scratch. She had zero background, but she practiced daily for just 20 minutes, focusing on short conversations. Within 1 year, she was confidently chatting with coworkers in English.
That's fantastic. Consistency, small goals, and dedication. It really does work. Another friend of mine used to be terrified of speaking. He started attending an online English meetup weekly. Even though he was nervous initially, he forced himself to speak at least once each session. After a few months, he was joking around in English like he'd been doing it for ages.
I love hearing stories like that. It proves language barriers are meant to be broken. You just need the right mindset and strategies. Now, let's talk about personalizing your learning materials. If you're studying vocabulary, focus on words relevant to your life, foods you eat, places you go, hobbies you enjoy.
Yes, it's way more effective than memorizing random lists like excavator, rhinoceros, submarine, which you might rarely use in daily life. Make it personal, and you'll remember it better.
Agreed. Another tip is creating flashcards, physical or digital. Apps like Anki or Quizlet help with spaced repetition, which is a scientifically proven way to combat forgetting. You schedule reviews at just the right intervals.
Absolutely. And as you learn new words, don't just note them down. Use them in sentences. That immediate application cements the term in your active vocabulary.
Exactly. Also, speaking to advanced learners, challenge yourself by reading more complex articles or listening to talks on specialized topics, technology, art, science, whatever floats your boat. Keep pushing the boundary of your comfort zone.
Right. That's how you continue to grow. But again, do it gradually, so you don't feel overwhelmed. If something is too advanced, scale back to something a bit simpler, then work your way up.
Great point. Let's also mention that building a supportive community helps a ton. Join study groups, online forums, or local meetups where people share resources, experiences, and even frustrations about learning English. It can help you realize you're not alone in this journey.
Absolutely. That sense of camaraderie can be a real boost, especially during plateaus. We all have days when progress seems to stall. A supportive group reminds you that it's normal and encourages you to keep going.
Exactly. Now, I'd love to highlight listening to music. When you sing along to your favorite English songs, you're practicing pronunciation, rhythm, and even some idiomatic language. If you enjoy the tune, you'll probably remember the words more easily.
Spot on. And if singing out loud isn't your thing, at least read the lyrics. Try to understand their meaning. Look up any phrases you don't know and see how they fit contextually.
Absolutely. Another super method is focused listening. Take a short song or a segment of a podcast. Listen carefully, then pause and repeat. Try to capture every sound, every stress pattern. Over time, your ear becomes more attuned.
It's kind of like fine-tuning a musical instrument. You're training your ears to pick up nuances in English. That skill is invaluable for understanding native speakers who might speak quickly or use contractions and slang.
Right. Plus, don't underestimate the cultural aspect. A lot of English phrases are tied to pop culture references, idioms, or historical context. The more you explore these, the deeper your understanding of the language goes.
Yes, culture and language are inseparable. Watching popular shows, especially comedies, can give you insight into current slang, humor, and everyday expressions that textbooks might not cover.
Exactly. Now, let's do a quick recap of our biggest tips so our listeners have a handy mental checklist. First, immerse yourself in English through media, daily tasks, and environment changes.
Second, use technology wisely, apps, AI chatbots, or language exchange platforms, but don't forget real conversation practice.
Third, tackle grammar in manageable chunks, applying rules to your own life. Fourth, practice reading, writing, listening, and speaking consistently.
Fifth, set specific, achievable goals and celebrate small wins. Sixth, incorporate English into your personal interests to keep it fun.
Seventh, embrace mistakes as learning opportunities. Eighth, regularly measure your progress, record yourself, or keep notes on improvements.
Ninth, build or join a supportive community, online or offline. And 10th, remember to enjoy the journey and keep your motivation alive.
Perfect. Let's also throw in a note on mental well-being. Frustration can happen when learning a new language. If you ever feel overwhelmed, take a short break. Do something relaxing, then come back to your studies refreshed.
Absolutely. Burnout helps no one. The path to fluency is steady and ongoing, and it's okay to pace yourself. Just remember to stay consistent over the long haul.
Right on. We also encourage you to explore different forms of English media, podcasts, news channels, social media content creators, even live streams of gamers if that's your thing. Variety keeps you engaged.
Precisely. And for those who want a structured approach, online courses can help you progress step by step. Just make sure it fits your style. Some people thrive in formal lessons, others prefer a more self-directed approach.
Indeed. For instance, if you do well with deadlines and accountability, an online course or tutor might be the perfect path. If you're more independent, a mix of apps, immersion, and conversation groups might be ideal.
Yes, everyone's different. The key is finding what works for you, then leaning into it wholeheartedly. Experiment, see what sticks, and don't be afraid to switch strategies if something isn't clicking.
Exactly. Let's share a final motivational story. I remember a man who was very shy about speaking English. He felt his accent was off, and he worried people would judge him. But guess what? He still tried. He engaged in online conversations, made lots of mistakes, laughed it off, and kept going. A year later, he was chatting effortlessly with natives.
That's amazing. It illustrates how mindset and persistence can overshadow fear and shyness. Eventually, your confidence blossoms along with your language skills.
Yes, and we want that for all our listeners. Remember, learning English is an adventure, not a race. Go at the pace that feels right, but do push your boundaries bit by bit.
Exactly. And always remember, you're not alone in this. Learners everywhere face the same hurdles: grammar confusion, listening challenges, speaking nerves. But with consistent practice, those hurdles get smaller over time.
Indeed, they do. Now, dear friends, you've been listening to LearnEnglishPodcast.com. We hope this episode motivates you to pick up those study materials, turn on those English shows, and jump into your next conversation with renewed confidence.
Before we sign off, please subscribe to our channel so you never miss an episode filled with tips, motivation, and a little humor on the side. And share this with someone who could use a friendly push in their English learning journey.
We'd also love to hear from you. Which tip resonated the most? Let us know in the comments or drop us a message. Your feedback helps us help you better.
Absolutely. Let's keep building this global community of English learners and enthusiasts. Remember, practice daily, stay curious, and don't be afraid to speak up.
You've got this. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and we'll see you next time on LearnEnglishPodcast.com.
Until then, keep smiling and keep learning.